the MO. Method of operation. How do they infiltrate us? What do they do? So you got to study them motherfuckers like they study you, right? If you don't study them the same way they study you, you will never know what you really face with and how entrenched in our community it is. So when it look like I call somebody out, I'm calling out one of us, and it look like divide and conquer wins again. But if I pull somebody out, call somebody to the forefront, right, and I say somebody wrong, that's because I already investigated. I already sized them up. I followed the steps they always take, and somebody's feet is fitting in all of the tracks the exact same way as before. But our people believe they somebody other than who they is. It's like they all woke up one day and everybody had amnesia. None of us ain't know that we've been on this motherfucker so long. We done lost our past life memories, most of us, and some of us are gaining them back. But in the course of the struggle, we in an adverse position until we realize what is going on, how it worked, who involved, and what the hell is they doing. Now, they got Orient Daystar blocked on a couple of channels, so he got a pre-record and post. I think that's some bullshit, because it should be like A1, but, censorship of the voices of the righteous is always going to be part of the undermining process of the wicked. So, and let me do this so I can make sure I'm seeing the comments clear. It won't let me do it. Oh, there we go. Alright, yeah. So that's better. So this morning started out kind of funny. I woke up about 5 something this morning, and I didn't want to get out the bed because I'm sick of this shit. I'm so fed up with this shit that when I get up in the morning, I only want to look and see that we still going through this dog and pony ass comedy show waiting on us to get our head out our ass. But so I'm laying in the bed and I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm just laid back. In the process, I start checking my messages and things for the day, for the morning, because people send me stuff all through the night because we be in different time zones. To them it'd be like midday, but over here it'd be midnight, or some people would be early night, but over here it'd be late morning. So we got different timetables, but people be sending me stuff all times of day and night, and they be keeping me abreast on what's going on. And when I see the signs, I can flip the signs out and see what's going on. And the thing that caught my attention was a post, and Rashida had asked me about it, but I had noticed it. It said China had blocked 44 planes from coming to America for some COVID shit. And in response, America bumped 44 to China, right? So they playing tit for tat, forth and back and forth, and forth and back. So I'm sitting there looking at these numbers, and I'm seeing China, and seeing represents the Skywalkers, right? While this going on, I'm noticing that the U.S. is the difference between the two flags, right? It's primary colors. China got a primarily red flag. Now America's primarily red and white flag with a blue corner. The blue corner flips a corner with the stars on it, right? So this is a Hollywood flip. So now I know that the Asian dude called Tukey the Crip, and they connected to Skywalkers because they used to have trees over there too, because the same motherfuckers cut all our shit down over here, cut all the trees down in Asia and Africa too, and Australia. That's why it's barren. So all the trees get cut down, but the Skywalkers across genetics, they didn't. It's not about the blood. It's about the right. I mean that in the blood, what can you do with it? How do you use this shit? So I realized that I'm getting a knock from Big Tukey, 44 Blue, which automatically is a knockback for the 44 Red, which is Angel Bay in Chicago. So I'm collecting receipts. I go through all my receipts. They're coming in so fast, I don't have time to do nothing. I'm just going through the receipts. I'm reading the messages. And it came all the way down to a scorpion sting on a future shot off of an Iceman. And the Iceman was all these knocks I kept getting all day from Tukey. Multiple people seen the cryogenics information being disclosed. And now they know that I knew what I was talking about for real, when I said they froze Big Tukey. Arnold Schwarzenegger did it by executive order out in California because he declared Tukey to be the security of the state of California as a border state was an essential security risk. So they couldn't afford to kill him, but they couldn't afford to show weakness to us. So the compromise with the gorilla families is that vanilla gorilla, the Iceman, Mr. Freeze, decided to put a soul on ice so he can wake up a man on fire. Ain't that something? So the man on fire is the man in red, and the man in red ain't dead. And we talking about Chief Malik Angel Bay, king of the El Rookins. One of the baddest motherfuckers y'all neglected for so goddamn long. Y'all could have been free if y'all support any one of these motherfuckers. They could have got y'all up out the shit. But y'all believed in the enemy. And now, this take me to where we going. Big Tukey want me to show y'all pretty much how do these motherfuckers do this shit? How do they get in our communities and infiltrate us? Because most people think that I'm down with the separation in the community, but I'm not. I don't.
The counterweight between the two.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And talk
excited.
to, yeah, yeah. Talk to
Thank
your
you so
talk.
much.
Yeah, talk to your mama before you go. Say, mama, make sure I do this right. That's all. Just look at her
Okay.
picture. You know, cook your dinner, whatever. Thinking about your mama when you get done, and you're gonna feel a certain calm, and then you be like, mama, make sure I do this right. Your
O-
mama gonna work from the other side, do every fucking thing you need her to do to make sure you do everything right.
Okay.
From picking the date to the clothes you wear to the clothes you dress the baby in to whatever gifts, because you got to always take the elders' gifts. That's the custom. Whatever gifts
Okay.
you take her, your mama gonna tell you what to get. You
Oh,
can't never disconnect from your mama because you connected to her in your heart. That's an eternal link. So when you start communicating with her, when you start cooking meals and thinking about her as you cook, because that's something that she like to do for her family,
Mhm.
right? She like to feed her kids. You stepping into her shoes, you thinking about her while you fixing a meal, right? So you are embodying her energy while you looking to communicate.
Okay.
You're gonna feel it. You're gonna know what I'm talking about when you feel it. Soon as you feel it, it's gonna click. Oh, this is what he's talking about, right? And in the course of feeling that, when you're talking to one of your siblings or something, they gonna say, "You sound just like mama." That's gonna be your confirmation now. To your mama letting you know that the connection has been successfully established to clean up the bullshit from your family tree from imposters invading.
Okay.
Right. So she gonna put it all together,
Okay.
you know.
Now, my aunt that I'm gonna be visiting is on my dad's side. My
It don't matter because
Okay.
you had two dragons. One is from your mother's side and one is from your father's side.
I actually had three.
Oh, that's even
I had.
better because now the third dragon that's the manifestation that comes in as your granddaughter because she's
Okay.
got the three sisters. That's so your mama is one, your auntie is the other one. She the matriarch in the family right now.
Yep.
So the matriarch got to pass the torch. She ain't gonna
Okay.
pass it till you ready, and she can't die till you ready to receive it. So even if she wanna go, she can't go nowhere until the vessel is prepared to pass the knowledge. And
Mhm.
that's why you've been going through your life the way you have because you've been being prepared, right, to receive the knowledge. She got it. She got everything you need. You don't even need me no more. You got her, right?
Okay.
So when you make that connection with her and your granddaughter, that automatically bring good fortune to you'll see it. Motherfuckers gonna be hitting the lottery number, getting checks in the mail, finding money on the ground, and you're gonna be like, damn, everybody in the family getting good luck all of a sudden. It's because of the work you did. It's manifesting in the healing of the family shows up as prosperity.
Gotcha.
Sick trees
Okay.
don't grow leaves.
Right.
But soon as the tree is healed, it grows in full and green, prosperous,
Mhm.
with bountiful fruit, right? So just the fact that you making the right connections changes the whole family dynamic. So you probably got a great nephew or something in prison doing life. He all of a sudden get an uh, uh, unexpected parole, pardon or something,
Mhm.
right? And you knew he wasn't supposed to have been in there in the first place. Got railroaded, right? But you cleaning up the family tree. You giving second chances, right? You giving everybody a chance to do what's right.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's on my list to do real quick. I'm gonna be
Okay.
trying to make
I'm gonna
that
let
happen.
I'm gonna let you drop down. I'm gonna take the next caller.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna
You
listen.
welcome.
Have a great day.
You too.
Now, is there something I gotta do?
Rashida, you want to come in? Inbox me if you want to come in. I sent you once and it said you rejected it. Um, Shine Watts was in the last one. I want to get him in here.
Do I have to do something to drop off?
I got you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm waiting on Shine to come in. Let me look at these questions. They coming in heavy. I don't want to move that one off the. Well, we never been selfish enough to just throw people off the land. If they not here disrupting the unity and the peace, then they're gonna have to tribe up with somebody. Look up turkey vultures and look up the meaning in the indigenous culture, and it'll explain the turkey vultures to you. But that's a good vision to see. That's a totem animal. So wavy girl, you say what article was that? I don't know what article you talking about, sweetie. 4 4.
If you can look deep enough and take a picture, you can count more people in one quadrant than you can on the whole earth. There's plenty of room for us if we wake the fuck up. I started this shit in the 9th dimension. I didn't want to fuck with you third dimensional vibrating motherfuckers. I was building me an escape hatch. I was building me an exit tunnel. And then I got to the top of that motherfucker. They say, no, you can't come by your motherfucking self, nigga. We sent you to come back with a whole army of motherfuckers and you by your goddamn self. I said, them motherfuckers sleep. They dead. They ain't no good. They don't want to come. They say they don't know yet. Take your ass back. Go get them motherfuckers we sent you in there to get. Mama, don't take that bullshit. Do your job. So then here I am back in this motherfucker looking dumb to these ignorant motherfuckers who can't think their way out of a paper bag. Every motherfucking doctor I sat with asking me what university did I go to medical school in. Every lawyer I'm sitting and talk to asking me where did I graduate law school. They swear I done went to Princeton, Harvard, or Yale. I say, man, I got a GED. I got a guerrilla educational degree. Motherfucker, I did this shit guerrilla style myself. You motherfuckers ain't teach me shit but how to be oppressed. I don't want to be oppressed. I don't want to learn that fucking lesson. Why would I want to learn that lesson? How to be oppressed 101. Send your child to school. So we can watch them on the auction block so we can have our pick and our choose. Oh, that's not my shit. I'm not with that. I don't believe in that shit. This is how you teach them how to follow a bell. So what they do, they rung the fucking bell and y'all went to recess. Now all you niggas out in the streets on recess because y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to wake up seriously. Michael Staples, let me correct you on one thing. The black man is not the maker and the owner and the cream of the planet Earth. The black woman is. That's the only thing wrong with that entire statement. For you Christians, God so loved the world, she gave her only begotten parthogenic son to come clean this shit up. Ain't none of that shit. When they start telling you a man God over the woman, you full of shit. Because can't no man bring life into this world. They can't birth a seed. This is what this shit about in the beginning. A bunch of sissies thought they was outdo the woman by creating artificial wombs and jumping and giving birth to babies. This is what this shit about. Jealousy, deceit, trickery, deception, and y'all fall for this shit. Man, that emotional drug is a motherfucker. So the condition is called learned helplessness. Look that shit up. So you get to a condition mentally where you feel like all your fighting is in vain and you can't see quite sure. It's okay to feel that way, but don't stay that way. Don't stay that way. That's a trick. Goddamn right. I did a whole post on emotional intelligence, Dre. Look, the contract first expired in 1911, right? What happened? Well, Garvey had to come and give us some more keys because under the Jim Crow, y'all signed another contract called the Federal Reserve Act for international bankers to come in and manage your money for you because you was to manage your money. So now you're under that. Then that contract went bankrupt. Not in 1929, but in like 1913, I believe it was, when they did the Buck Act. Buck Act. They got so many of these laws. It's a series of them that positions them for when they first lose power to have another stretch. That gave them another 80 to 90 year stretch. Well, it's been 100 years now, but the 80-year stretch was up in 1995. Actually, 93. The 80-year stretch was up in 93 because this is not even supposed to be my time. This is supposed to be Tupac lane. This is supposed to be his turn. They figured out who he was. They tried to kill him. And I'm going to leave that at that. Yeah. Watch for the contract. These motherfuckers always, any treaty signed now, them contracts. We trying to get from under that shit, that motherfucking paper chains. Yeah, but everybody don't remember, Verkel. We did see the condition. Some of us did. Everybody didn't, because some people was trapped in the loop. We had to come in between the jumping of the loop. We had to flip them out of what they call the infinity loop. So it's like a slinky. You hold two of the strings together, and then you try to, it gets stuck together. It don't quite bounce correctly. That's what they did they did that with about 40,000 years ago. No, it was longer than that. They blew a CERN, a collider, and the collider used to sit where the Mediterranean is. If you go back and you do your research, you find that the Nile used to drain into the Sahara Desert. Well, they had to reroute the Nile to fill in the hole. I had to engineer that shit because Mama said, you the only one can get the water to flow like we wanted to, so we needed to go from over here to fill in that big ass hole. So I filled in that big ass hole. There's a whole fucking bunch of cities under the goddamn Mediterranean, you dumb motherfuckers. With big ass 60-foot statues of pharaohs and all kind of shit that predate everything on the land. It's the other fuckers they collapsed the fourth dimension in on the third. And that's why when you were seeing now, you don't go to the fourth. You jump straight to the fifth. You was in both at the same time. That's why your dreams be crazy if you halfway woke. So, Sun Kiss, Shay, the green, blue, the aquamarine blood are from an aquatic planet. And it's probably about 750 light years from here. And it's probably about maybe 20 or 30, but there's no surface land. All of it is underwater. But there's like caverns under the water where they can set up like it's like a cave, but water on the outside of it. So theirs is like the reverse of ours. Ours is the land is on top of the water. Theirs, the water is on top of the land. It's just a different setup. That's right, Daniel. So now in that post I did yesterday on Morocco showing the king, he gave a picture of Morocco that looked uncannily like California. And he said, this is the real Morocco. He telling you something. He telling you something. You see a picture of him with the Pope? It's telling you something. The Pope on his right. That means he flipped to the left off the Pope. That means the Pope's mother line. The Pope is androgynous. Right? So he's on the Pope's mother line, flipping off the left. It's all a trick. Don't fall for that shit. Then you see him with varying other people. Read the post, but y'all need to know this is a setup. This is a grand scheme to get you people back into bondage. Go into bondage if you want to. It's not for me. I'm not participating in bondage servitude. I'm not oppressing nobody. So if that's what y'all think gonna happen, that as soon as this shit over with, the niggas gonna step on the white people the way the white people was on. It was never the white people to begin with. It was those Blackamoor, Tawny Moors, and Allegiance. And they used those, what they called indentures, to make them, they had to compensate them. First of all, this is why black people not eligible for reparations. They can't reparate you for some shit you did to yourself. You can't reparate yourself for some shit you did to yourself. You asked for this shit. You went out your way and fought to be oppressed because you thought these rotten sellout motherfuckers was your brothers. If I'd have thought they was my brothers, I probably would have fought and be oppressed right along with them, or we'd have got free one or two. But if you don't know the history, you doomed. You doomed to repeat it. So what do? You have to fall back. If you want to be active, this is what you do. If you want to get out in the street and really do something, put the Veve out, right? Get you a group of 5, 6, 7 sisters and start sprinkling holy water. Make your own holy water, though, because that shit they do in the church ain't yours. You got to make it yourself. That means that you have to write your own incantation, distill the water, or buy distilled water. You can't use distilled water out the store because you're going to strip it down of all of its charge anyway. Yeah, the sisters agree. They don't have to do no fancy shit. All y'all have to agree is that this is holy water and it's going to heal the land and the people. Y'all all go in the room, touch that water, and go sprinkling that shit and watch them motherfuckers get the fuck clear. The streets just gonna start clearing up. Before they ever give an order, the shit just gonna start clearing. Like, what the fuck going? You clearing the congestion out of the nasal cavity. This is where we at now. We at the head. We done went through the devil's anus. We at the head now. The Kundalini done rose. We at the top of the motherfucking food. How you clear them out? You call them home. How you call them home? In righteousness' sake. You call them home in love and peace and harmony. You call them home in goodness and in health. That's all. And don't wish no bad on nobody because you just. So I'm going to do my invites on here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see comments or anything on this one because yesterday I wasn't able to. We're going to get into some good stuff. Yesterday I was telling y'all that you didn't see any ether over my head. And then I was going to explain why you didn't see the ether. So I'm going to get into showing you what happened to the ether, why you can no longer see the ethers settling around my head area. So when I get into this part, we're going to deal with creation, we're going to deal with reading signs, and we're going to deal with the 13th seat a little bit more in the Vesica Pisces. I don't have a time limit on this video. I got a fully charged battery. I'm going to see what it do. I'm just going to let it do what it do. I would appreciate any questions. Just ask them. If you don't understand what I'm reading and I'm reading the science, if I'm not explaining it clear enough, make sure y'all say something. Because if the input and the feedback is what increases the accuracy when you read in the science. So the what is it factor. So I'm going to do a couple more invites here. This ought to be pretty nice. And this session right here, we're gonna get into a few things. All right, now, how y'all doing this morning? So last night I went through the Queen's Gate to the Queen's Chamber and showed y'all who exactly was the Queen of Heaven and Earth. God is no man. I've proven that. But we're gonna get a little deeper into the creation story. So this is what we're gonna start with. There was a situation about a year or two ago where some Fruit of Islam went to go visit a Christian church on the East Coast to discuss God and the self-created aspect of the self. So God created himself from nothing. Now what you have to remember when I show you this is everything is taking place in something called the Nun, N-U-N. It's the same way you spell nuns. Now remember we had to identify who the imposter was that was sitting on the queen's seat. We found it to be Pope Francis, the talking motherfucking mule, the ass. Right? Now, in saying that, I want to get into the brothers went up there to try to explain the self-created God to what's this brother name? I think his name Dino Jenkins or Gino Jennings or something like that. And he ran rings around them guys, but there was something that he did. There was two things about this reverend, he's a Christian, that got my attention. One, the bow tie. The bow tie is a symbol of a traveling man. That's the first problem that I ran across while they was up there getting slaughtered by this minister, and he came across as a righteous man, but he wasn't right. Now I'm going to show you why he wasn't right. Yep, Gino Jenkins, that's my man. If you a Christian, that's where you need to be at, because he going to tell you the truth. So they wanted to draw me out and to determine if I would show the creation story of ancient Kemet, of our ancestors, and how we described it compared to how we were taught the creation mythos in church. So first things first, we're going to play the creation myth. Now I'm going to flip my camera here. This is a woman. They call her the grand man, but this is a woman. Look. This the Queen of Heaven and Earth. She's the self-created. From the Nun. The Nun is replicated in the womb as vaginal secretion or primordial water of the womb. That's the Nun. This is the mother. This is the Queen of Heaven and Earth. Right? As above, so below. Now remember, she was the Pope sits on her throne. Alright, now let's see what else happens. Now, when I was showing you the Vesica Pisces, this was the symbolism. This is the crucifixion story as I was unraveling it. Now notice you have two staffs, each with one serpent around it. One represents the moon, as you can see it over there to right here. The moon, that's the feminine. The other represents the sun in the middle. You see it say left undering, and this say right. Now look at this. This is an inverse, because remember, the Leo was on the right and the Scorpio was on the left. But look at the moon. You see the upside down triangle? You see the right side up triangle. Now, when the two become one in the third eye, they think they seeing the same. They are now here in the Queen's chamber. Now, let me show you so you'll know what I'm talking about. Over here in my book of life. When I told you, when you were seeing the ether, this is what you was looking at. You was looking at me here. See the rose going through the ether? These are a set of hands reaching up to the cross. Look at the cross. But what's on the cross? The cross is the balancer between the mind and the spirit, or Thoth, Dehuchi, the wisdom, and the queen, Isis, the mother. Now look, over her head is a upside down triangle, a right side up triangle. Here, this is why you're not seeing ether now. We are no longer down here in the realm of the mortals or in the realm of the angels. We up here in the realm of the gods. We up here at pineal gland, pituitary gland. They're shooting this fire out the third eye. How do I know? Because it's right between the two eyes. It's between the balancing of the feather and the heart. The feather, the intent, has to be lighter than the heart, the love. In other words, your intent got to be so pure in what you're doing that you don't disrupt the love. Right? This is the balance in the Mott. This is the true scales of justice here. Now remember, I told y'all before that the Scorpio had the Libra placed between him and Virgo. Now, the whole goal is to bring the two back together again above the scales of justice. Now look what you got here. You have the sun, which represents the man, and the moon, which represents the woman. This is where we at right now. Yesterday, by going through Vesica Pisces, I got to the top. But there were some unresolved matters that I have to resolve. Unresolved matters. Right? So, in order to get here, there's a couple things got to be cleared up. Now, what have I been doing that I've been showing y'all? So now I got to show y'all exactly what I've been doing. If you look here in my book of life, you see this picture. Scholars study the world, right? Mystics study themselves. Now you see the key ring? Now look at where the keyhole is, at the third eye. The keyhole is at the third eye. Now look, 1 chakra, 2 chakra, 3 chakra, 4 chakra, 5 chakra, 6 chakra, 7th chakra. This is the 7th sun rising. Now watch this. You see the keys? There's 7 keys. That means that, what is 9 keys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 keys, which represents 12 suns. Now look here. Nobody else has that keyhole. Everybody else is blind, deaf, and dumb. Look, no keyhole. But look at this. But look in there. You see the universe? So this is telling me, discard the universe without. I have to scour the universe within. Look what I discovered, that this key, they said, Thoth said, the keys to the worlds, with an S, within thee are found only within. For man is the gateway of mystery, and the key that is one with the one. Thoth. Now remember who the master of wisdom is, Thoth. Now look, he said the key is found within. This is the heart chakra. This is the key. So the key in the heart opens the mind. The pure intent can be open with pure love. It's showing you right here. So now, in my book of life, you see that this is what you call unintentional. Because I didn't even realize that the other picture had keys in it. Now look at here. This is the ascension. This is the ascension. Well, in following the signs, and sometimes they don't always be clear what they mean to us. So I'm sitting here at 9:45 thinking, and I'm like, what does this sign I read mean? So I'm trying to figure out what this sign means that I read yesterday. And my misinterpretation was that there would be a meeting waiting for me. The meeting not here. So as I sit here and I ponder the possibilities, the thing come to mind is, well, maybe we just need to vent, get some stuff off our chest about the worker. See, so I come up here where I was a laborer in the Orient Assembly plant. The funny thing about Orient Assembly matches up so well with prophecy, and the rise of the Son of Man and the return of the Christ. All of it match up with prophecy from this particular point. But we already know that the time dictates the agenda. And so when we're looking at the scope of what's going on, what are we looking at? Nobody's here but workers working. But it's not full production. It's like an reconstruction type set where they're rebuilding and renovating in order to accommodate a better production model for the plant. So I'm sitting here and I'm still not putting the pieces together, and I'm missing a piece. And I can't figure out quite what it was. And I read all of the signs. I know the times. But we don't always know the course of action. The course of action sometimes is what becomes elusive to us. We lose track of which direction to turn. What are we looking at when we read the signs? Because signs and symbols are drastically different from direct statements and comments. So there has to be a translation taking place. So I look around here, Orient Assembly, 5960. You know, I'm looking at the red star and the blue star here, and I'm wondering, what is this telling me? What is this saying? It's like everywhere I go, I'm missing something. I'm slightly missing something. It's something just slightly off. So that tells me that I have to reevaluate, reassess, and go back to the drawing board, which is not a problem with me. Because I know at this particular point, the Christ is risen. And we already know that the Christ is no man. And they came, and the stone was already moved. It's kind of odd. It's kind of backwards in the book. It's like a mirror effect. So if the stone is already moved, it's not there. Where would I find it? And so I would have to go back to the text, and I would go back to the drawing board to try to determine what is this that I'm seeing. So 3 kings of the Orient constellation um, come bearing gifts for the baby. They came following the stars, right? How you doing, Farasha? Um, so they following the stars. They follow the North Star. They like today, when it's cloud covered, there's no North Star to follow. What do we do? maybe the North Star is not a physical place or a physical star. Maybe it's a symbol of a star. Well, the star of the North is Polaris. Polaris. And Polaris is indicative of the North Pole, meaning the um, north wind. So that's not really giving me enough information to extrapolate what this means. But to condense it, if I followed the North Star from where I live, I would end up here in Orion. If CEOs from Ford, Chrysler, and GM was to follow the North Star um, to north, they would end up in Orion too. That's kind of odd. And the sign says something about Bera. Bera 945. And it's kind of odd. So I'm not going to be denied. I'm going to figure it out. I don't want nothing easy. I want to figure it out. I want to get what I came for so we can all taste the sweet savor of heaven. And we can learn how to live our best lives once again. And there's a lot of people involved in this. I had a total recall yesterday. And from the position of the total recall, I was able to see how everybody contributed.
That's one of the oldest formulas for the women to regain control of the elements around the earth.
Okay. Anything that you can suggest in regards to, for me, I can do homework. Once I can understand it intellectually, I can activate.
Activate it. That's how I do.
Right.
So it's later on, once we get the free leg Hoover thing through, that's what we call the big flip, the great flip, the great reset.
Okay.
After the reset, we go into I'm gonna open up a university, Platinum Back University, to teach the children, but I'm gonna need adults to teach the teenagers, to teach the adolescents.